This Hot Wheels Hunting Full Guide has everything, including exactly how to get your hands on ultra desirable and much harder to find popular mainline basic cars, and which websites I personally use to stay up to date with new releases. Get ready to witness a super fast 24-store hunting adventure, which is absolutely jam-packed with crucial and invaluable knowledge like how to identify a Hot Wheels treasure hunt. I will also reveal which type of stores are the best to find the latest and greatest Hot Wheels products, and I'll share with you what to look out for while hunting and the differences between regular and super rare hard to find Hot Wheels premium chase pieces. So if you want to become a Hot Wheels hunting expert, sit back, relax, and make sure you stick around until the end of this video, as I will also be telling you the incredible story of how I found my third Hot Wheels super treasure hunt. Pro tip number 1, and the most important factor of all, is that being first counts. So right off the bat, you guys need to be checking stock levels online where possible and showing up as often as you can in store, and that's because, boom, I can't believe that I just walked up to so many of these car culture premium silhouettes. And although yes, there is an absolutely huge hype train attached to this set of 5 Hot Wheels, now that I have these cars in my hands, I can see exactly why. Every single premium set released always has at least 1 or 2 cars that are more desirable, and quite often, when a new release hits stores, employees will open sealed cases inside of the stockroom first and then set aside the Hot Wheels that they are keen to take home for themselves. And although we did find 4 of the Liberty Walk Nissan Skyline, looks like we won't be finding car number 5 of 5 hung up inside of this toy shop today. However, I can reveal to you that in store visit number 4, coming up shortly in this video, I will be holding up the Silhouette's RWB Porsche up to the camera and completing my full set of all 5 cars. It's also actually very common for a much older box of mainline basic Hot Wheels to be restocked randomly. So here's the best and most desirable old school beauties from a retro 2023 C and D case that I know were at the top of every collector's must-have list when these cars were first released. And for real, you never really know which mysterious Hot Wheels you're going to run into on any given day, which is 100% one of the best parts about being a collector. And lastly, before we leave, it's always a really good idea to find a member of staff and very politely ask if any more Hot Wheels are due to be restocked today. And that's because I know that there isn't a collector out there who hasn't been furiously hunting for these semi-premium silver label Fast and Furious Hot Wheels, and that's because up until today, I have never found any of these cars hung up in store. So I'm super stoked that I was able to check through this box first before anyone else. Next up, it's time to showcase another epic fresh restock for all of the very best Hot Wheels from a 2025 D case. So hopefully we can also find the treasure hunt hiding here today, as all of my subscribers know that I'm always on a mission to complete a full set of treasure hunt cars found out in the wild. And as luck would have it, randomly chilling down here on the bottom shelf, boom, jackpot, pedal driver treasure hunt found. 95% of the time, treasure hunt Hot Wheels are only seeded once into a sealed case of 72 cars, and in the next store visit coming up, I'll show you guys in more detail how to identify a treasure hunt by checking for a special symbol printed onto the packaging. An invaluable resource for every Hot Wheels hunter is a website called hwtreasure.com, which is fantastic for tracking all of the latest Hot Wheels releases, so before hitting the shops, make sure you always do your homework first. You can also find this information and more on the Hot Wheels Fandom Wiki. And whilst we're talking about very useful websites, I also wanted to give an honourable mention and shout out to orangetrackdiecast.com. This particular toy shop are not afraid to leave out extra stock on the shop floor. So here's a super quick look at all of the very best Hot Wheels found here on top of the table and from the boxes placed underneath. And after digging through hundreds of Hot Wheels, I still haven't found the latest release for the Mazda MX-5 that I was hoping to find here today. But if this isn't documented proof that you need to endure checking through every single car, as you never know what you could be leaving behind, and that's because, boom, oh man, nice, the paint on this Miata is god tier. And now it's time to move on to store number 3. Based on countless visits to well over 20 different chain stores and independent retail businesses that sell Hot Wheels, the best chance that you have to find a super treasure hunt is away from all of the specialized toy shops, and instead make sure you're adding as many supermarkets to your list of places to check on all of your hunting adventures. For the first time ever inside of this super lucky Asda, I caught a pristine fresh restock, and you better believe that if you look through a mini display box of Hot Wheels and it doesn't look like this, then you were not first. The likelihood of finding exactly what you're looking for is at its optimum level when the Hot Wheels are stacked this neatly together with little to no sign of someone else taking anything first. Oh man, so many ultra desirable Hot Wheels were uncovered here today, and buried at the very bottom of the box, this purple Mailed It fantasy casting right here is the treasure hunt for this particular group of Hot Wheels. Check for the treasure hunt symbol, which will be printed onto the car. And there will also be a special silver flame symbol printed behind the casting on the packaging, which looks like this. Get ready for our second visit to another super lucky Smith's Toys, as in just a moment I will be holding up to the camera one of the most highly anticipated and must-own premium Hot Wheels that I know every collector out there will need to feature in their collection for sure. And after checking stock levels online this morning, but unable to find what I was looking for hanging up right here, you guys are going to absolutely love this, because after speaking to a member of staff, I was then handed this. And oh man, am I happy that this Hot Wheels is coming home with me to feature as a prized part of my collection, and for sure will never be listed on eBay. Looks like some more old school mainline beauties were also restocked very recently, so here's a super quick showcase for all of the best Hot Wheels that are in stock right now, including this art car Camaro that I know is also a very good looking super treasure hunt, and then we can move on to another super lucky fresh restock inside of the best supermarket chain in my local area. If you walk up to a display box of Hot Wheels inside of an Aldi supermarket and it doesn't look like this, then you were definitely not first. To expand even further on optimal hunting techniques, right now I must be checking well over 20 different stores 3 times a week at different times of the day.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Now listen carefully, there is no such thing as lucky stores that I personally visit and then showcase here on my channel. All chain stores are sent exactly the same stock, and it really is up to you to check as often as possible so that you can hit a fresh restock just like I did right here. The 3 best times to check for Hot Wheels are when stores open in the morning, early in the afternoon, and an hour before they close. Frequency is key, so be first and give yourself the best opportunity to find exactly what you're looking for. There were actually so many good looking and awesome cars here today. However, looks like this particular display box was a dud, as I know that the blue Chevy truck would have been the super treasure hunt if we had been lucky enough to find one. Okay, this is everything that you will ever need to know about how to identify a Hot Wheels super treasure hunt. Laid out in front of us are the 4 supers that I have personally found myself in store and out in the wild. Below each one is the mainline basic regular version, which are more commonly found, and on average it's reported that one Hot Wheels super treasure hunt is seeded into approximately 10 to 20% of sealed cases containing 72 cars. Every Hot Wheels super treasure hunt is a more premium version of the mainline basic car, and each super treasure hunt will have the Hot Wheels signature Spectraflame paint. This TH treasure hunt graphic will be present, and instead of standard solid plastic wheels, a super treasure hunt will have Real Rider premium wheels and rubber tyres. Located on the packaging and printed behind each super is this gold flame symbol, which denotes that you have found a rare and very special Hot Wheels that absolutely every collector is searching for every time they go out hunting for new pieces to add into their collection. 75% of all supers that I have found out in the wild were purchased from supermarkets, and only one of these rare and highly sought after Hot Wheels was discovered inside of a dedicated toy shop. This is exactly how much I had to pay for each car on the table right now, which roughly equates to this in these 6 currencies. And if you were to purchase these cars on eBay UK right now, this is how much you would have to pay. And for all of the best and most legendary people watching right now, if you want to witness me finding this amazing gold Aston Martin out in the wild, then hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and make sure that you watch my next Hot Wheels hunting video, which will be uploaded after this one. Don't forget, as promised and coming up later on in this video, I will also be revealing exactly how I became the proud owner of Super Treasure Hunt number 3 in my collection. Back inside of another lucky entertainer toy shop, and it's time to roll up our sleeves and dive straight into hundreds of Hot Wheels so that we can pull out more god-tier cars like this harder to find, very good looking, all-black Porsche 911 GT3. Okay, so after carefully sorting through over 90% of everything that was placed inside of this plastic basket dump bin, you guys better believe that the majority of people who buy Hot Wheels are very unlikely to dig all the way down to the very bottom. But we know that those casual collectors are totally missing out, because I definitely won't be leaving behind this ultra desirable Red Bull Formula 1 race car. And oh man, the card is actually in such great shape for being buried all the way down here. So 100% make sure you're taking your time and putting in the effort so that you can discover more of the Hot Wheels that you're looking for. And after around 10 to 15 minutes of my time, here are the very best and most sought after Hot Wheels that we're hiding here today. The majority of toy shops often have a separate section dedicated to even more Hot Wheels, and I know that all of you guys have been having a much harder time trying to get your hands on these very good looking Boulevard premium cars, which are also actually on sale right now for £7.20 each, which is a much more acceptable price tag for Hot Wheels sold here in the UK. And although I still can't catch a break and find any of the Skylines from this Modern Classics release, hidden on this shelf, pushed right to the back, it has also been a lot harder to find this premium version for the Pop Culture Mystery Machine. Hot Wheels also released multiple sets of 5 cars for their mid-level, semi-premium Silver Series products, and I really can't believe that these epic Transformers Hasbro Mattel collaboration cars are now all peg warmers, especially when they only cost £3 each, which is such a great price for all of these. Before we leave, let's find out if the latest Nightburners 5-pack is in stock today, as every single car inside the box is a must-own in your collection for sure. Jackpot, nice! Let me know in the comments which casting is your favourite from this multi-pack, and then we can move on to another supermarket that I don't get to showcase very often here on the channel. Tesco and the Entertainer have joined forces, which is absolutely amazing for all of us UK Hot Wheels collectors, because just look at how many epic cars are struggling to hold onto the pegs right now. And oh man, nice! One of my personal favourite series that Mattel release 4 times a year is Team Transport, and I know that a lot of you guys would agree that it was very difficult to get your hands on this one. Looks like all 3 releases are in stock and present here today, which is awesome. And now, let's find out if I can find a super treasure hunt hidden amongst all of this, or at least get my hands on the regular mailed it treasure hunt. And no way, nice! Always lucky to find one of these Hot Wheels out in the wild. No super treasure hunt for me today, and for everyone who wants to see the good stuff, I would have to say that it was these very good looking 5 Hot Wheels right here. Enjoy, you're welcome. Make sure that you're thinking outside of the box, as there are always other stores that aren't supermarkets and toy shops that sell Hot Wheels, like this Mattel, which predominantly sells clothing. But in nearly every single store that I've checked so far, placed here at the till point, are loads of Hot Wheels, and if you can catch a fresh restock, then you can find a lot of the latest and greatest releases to add into your collection, like all of these very good looking Hot Wheels right here. Looks like we can't stop finding treasure hunts, and oh man, that's actually double lucky as well to find another Nightburners 5-pack, and you guys need to let me know in the comments if this one has been easy or difficult for you to find out in the wild. Here's a super quick look at all of the best and much harder to find basic mainline cars that were hung up in stock today, including the epic treasure hunt off-road Porsche. Very nice. Next up, one of the most important pieces of Hot Wheels hunting advice that I can give you is to always check the top shelves for boxes that look exactly like this one. I highly recommend that you politely ask a member of staff first before messing with stock that technically hasn't been distributed onto the shop floor. As for real, the nicest lady working here was more than happy to fetch this box down for me so that we can find out exactly what was hiding inside. Make sure that you're checking all of the cars carefully for Hot Wheels that could be super treasure hunts, as I know that the green Audi and this purple Hira Merc are the super treasure hunts to look out for when sorting through everything inside of this particular box. And before we leave, here's a lightning fast look at the actual retail space dedicated to Hot Wheels inside of this discount store, and from all of the cars hung up here today, the very best one is this bright blue Honda Civic EF. That was, of course, hiding right at the back.
Y'all ready for this?
Another amazing discount store that sells Hot Wheels here in the UK is Home Bargains, which more often than not seems to only have 8 cars hung up at any given time, or you can get very lucky like this and hit a fresh restock. The very first treasure hunt from a 2025 A-Case is this bright red Ford Supervan, which I have actually found the least so far out in the wild. It can definitely be much harder to find the regular treasure hunt Hot Wheels when the casting is based on a real-world popular car manufacturer like Ford, BMW, Audi and Nissan. And after checking through everything, looks like this case was a dud, so let's hit the road and I'll show you guys what's cooking inside of Entertainer Toy Shop number 3. Looks like we showed up at just the right time before another collector gets their hands on all of the most desirable Hot Wheels from what looks like a very nice restock, so let's dive headfirst into these very neatly packed boxes placed underneath the table and I'll show you guys exactly what was hiding here. This monochrome fantasy car is also an ugly looking super treasure hunt, whereas this awesome 1970s Datsun truck has a super treasure hunt version that I would 100% get excited about finding out in the wild for sure. Here's a quick fire round for multiple awesome Hot Wheels that I know every collector has been hunting hard for. Big fan of the orange version for the Toyota GR86, although definitely not as nice as the Tony Breidinger blue version. The silver Gordon Murray sports car is a must pick up for sure, and although there wasn't a single pedal car treasure hunt to be found amongst all of the hundreds of Hot Wheels in stock right now, the Entertainer offers a nice deal where you can buy 3 Hot Wheels for the price of 2. Which means that these good-looking cars will be coming home with me for just £1.60 each. As promised, and because I'm very keen to fill this video to the very top with essential knowledge that you can arm yourself with before hunting for Hot Wheels like a certified expert, here are all 5 premium products from the Hot Wheels Off-Road Car Culture Terra Trek collection. And if we head back to hwtreasure.com by clicking on the Chase section right here, you can look through every single Hot Wheels Chase vehicle ever released, and it's worth mentioning that this information is also available on the Hot Wheels Fandom Wiki as well. In this example, the Datsun truck is listed as vehicle number 3 out of 5 from this set, which I personally think is the best looking Hot Wheels out of all 5. And if I shake this one in just the right way, then everything will turn completely black, and now we are holding in our hands the 0 out of 5 Chase version for the Datsun truck. You can easily identify any Hot Wheels Car Culture Chase vehicle by looking for this 0 out of 5 numbering shown here in the lower right corner. And if you want to know how difficult it is to find a Chase out in the wild, well, I have never found one for myself, and oh man, do I go out hunting for Hot Wheels a lot. For real, toy shop and supermarket employees are very good at making sure that these Hot Wheels never leave the stockroom. So if you ever find a Hot Wheels Chase out in the wild, then you can definitely count yourself just as lucky as if you found a Hot Wheels super treasure hunt. Back inside another Aldi supermarket, and we're hitting what looks like a very nice restock, as you can see here in display box number 2. And after pulling out a few of the very best Hot Wheels that are much harder to find inside of a toy shop, it's always very lucky to be the first collector who gets to pull the Porsche Safari regular treasure hunt from a brand new box of Hot Wheels. I know that all of these awesome cars were at the top of every collector's most wanted list to find out in the wild when they were first released, and I hope that all of you guys have managed to hunt down and tick off every car showcase here, and that all of these Hot Wheels now proudly feature as part of your ever-growing accumulation of epic diecast model cars. And lastly, before we move on, here are the 3 regular versions for the casting that I wish had their Spectraflame paint and real rider wheels. Looks can be deceiving as we speedrun our way through the Hot Wheels section inside of this Asda supermarket, and although on first impressions it doesn't actually look like there's anything to get overexcited about, yes, there are a few desirable mainline basic cars hiding inside of this mini dump bin, but the main reason that I wanted to highlight this store visit is because you guys need to make sure that you're always aware of randomly placed Hot Wheels clip strips, as you can see here, and that's because you need to make sure that you're not leaving behind any must pick up epic finds like this long card version for the pedal driver treasure hunt, which this time I can better show you the treasure hunt symbol that's hiding right behind the car. And lastly, I'm definitely going to grab the long card version for the 3rd release of the Porsche 904 Carrera GTS for my collection. Let's embark on another super fast quickfire round of Hot Wheels hunting. Roll up our sleeves and get ready to sort through hundreds of mainline basic cars, and I'll show you guys that the collectors who take their time to dig through absolutely everything are the ones who are rewarded. And that's because you can see here that there are so many untouched and fresh Hot Wheels sitting at the bottom of the box. So let's get double busy and I'll show you guys the very best cars that were in stock today. Oh man, nice! Jackpot! It's definitely worth mentioning that another collector pro tip is to save yourself a lot of money by avoiding having to pay the eBay tax. And that's because when the latest and most desirable Hot Wheels start hitting the secondary market within their first month, prices are going to be crazy, and 9.5 times out of 10, the cars that you are looking for the most eventually find you anyway. So ignore the fear of missing out and instead keep on the good hunt, as eventually you're more than likely to strike gold and only have to pay the standard retail price to own any of these highly sought after and super collectible Hot Wheels. One of the best parts about being a Hot Wheels collector that never gets old is that you truly never know what you're going to find in store. And I can't believe that this Boulevard Mercedes wagon was just sitting out in front of the pegs, and oh wow, that's actually super lucky. So let's quickly find out if there are any other awesome premium cars from this set left behind today. And in my opinion, this Volvo is the best looking version of this casting that we have in the Hot Wheels universe right now. It's sad to see way too many dirty orange Lancia peg warmers filling up precious retail space just like this. And there are always one or two Silver Series Hot Wheels that are much harder to find from each set, so make sure that you're out hunting as much as you can so that you can hit a fresh restock and complete a full set of all 5 and only have to pay the standard retail price, as it's important not to encourage the scalpers who flip toy cars on eBay just to make an extra $1 or $2 for a lot of extra and unnecessary work that ultimately hurts collectors. Before we move on to store visit number 16, I'll quickly check through all the main lines and then cut to the good part, which is where I highlight this awesome version for the Ford F-150 and this very good looking light grey version for the Chevy Silverado EV. After checking the toy section inside of this Morrison supermarket and walking away from literally 6 fantasy Hot Wheels, this store visit now turns into the craziest amount of clip strips that I have ever found out in the wild. So going back to what I said previously, make sure that you look out for Hot Wheels hung up near the snacks and in the cereal aisle, as you really never know what could be hanging up and waiting for you, like all of these much harder to find long card versions for all of these very good looking Hot Wheels right here. And I'm hoping that in the future, I'll be able to hold up to the camera a super treasure hunt find from a random clip strip placed beside the coffee and food items sold in pretty much every single grocery store in your local area. Next up, speaking of unexpected locations inside of supermarkets to check when you're next out hunting for Hot Wheels, I'm really surprised to find a random huge pile of cars dumped here amongst the toys and other discounted paraphernalia, and oh man, am I super happy that I checked here today, as clearly not all of the best Hot Wheels are left at the till points inside of Aldi, and I know that there isn't a collector watching right now who didn't have all of these epic cars at the top of their most wanted list to find out in the wild. I'm also here to tell you that your personal collection isn't going to look better compared to another collector's, and that your bank account is not going to thank you because you decided to buy and hoard 22 copies of the same car and left nothing awesome behind for anyone else, which is why I'm always more than happy to participate fairly within this hobby, enjoy the thrill of the hunt, and of course, put the majority of what I find back, so that everyone else can have a fair shot at growing their awesome collection away from the scalpers on eBay. It's time to find out what's waiting for us laid out here on the Hot Wheels table, and we also need to check through all of the cars hung up on the pegs, and then we can dive into so many boxes and start sorting through hundreds of mainline basic cars and pull out only the very best products that are all must-have Hot Wheels for sure. There really was an absolute ton of hidden gems buried within the boxes placed underneath this Hot Wheels table, and after around 10 minutes or so of my time, for your viewing pleasure, here's everything that should 100% feature in every Hot Wheels collection around the world. Before we bounce, let's find out what's in stock right now for all of the premium products, as there is definitely a lot to enjoy about adding this super cool Boulevard Ford Supervan into your collection, and hopefully we can find the most desirable car from this set, and oh nice, jackpot! I know that all of you guys would agree that this all-white Mazda has been much harder to find out in the wild. There are so many good-looking and amazing must-own pieces from every Boulevard release, so definitely add collecting these epic premium Hot Wheels onto your priority list when you're next out hunting. Another factor that you will need to consider when deciding which stores to visit more or less frequently should be based on the 2 factors that I can highlight inside of the Hot Wheels section at Toys R Us. Pro tip, completely avoid getting ripped off, and that's because the cheapest price for one Hot Wheels mainline basic car here in the UK is just £1.49, whereas Toys R Us are amongst the most expensive, as these clowns are asking a disrespectful £2.99 each for for a Hot Wheels basic car, which is actually crazy. And then they have the audacity to include such a high level of security onto each product, which 100% damages the packaging. The only time that you should ever purchase Hot Wheels from a store that you know charges the most amount of your hard-earned money for a Hot Wheels is if you're lucky enough to find a super treasure hunt. This store visit is such a great example for a store that has clearly been attacked by a few careless Hot Wheels enthusiasts. However, you guys need to make sure you're checking through every box, clip strip, shelf, and all around the toy section. As you can see here, there are actually a good amount of desirable and more highly sought after pieces dotted around in random places. Real Hot Wheels hunters leave no stone unturned. Here are the 4 best cars that I found inside of this Morrison supermarket, and situated over at the Lego section, I'm super happy that I found this clip strip, and no way, I don't own a long card version for this Ford Supervan treasure hunt. Nice, and 100% this one will be coming home with me. It's time to get super excited, as we are now only one more store away from actually finding a super treasure hunt. But before I reveal which other supermarket is coming up next, let's quickly blast through the dedicated Hot Wheels section inside of another Asda, as not only did I hit a fresh restock for loads of awesome premium products, it looks like there is also a huge pile of mainline basic cars to dig through. So let's quickly cut to the good part, which is where I show you these 3 awesome purple beauties right here, and then show you guys these 4 epic Hot Wheels right here. Back inside of another super lucky Aldi supermarket, and right off the bat I just noticed that this display box of Hot Wheels has been placed here on top of the checkout, as well as this second box which has been placed as usual on the shelf above. Okay, I now have the second box down here on the conveyor belt, and I'll show you guys all of the very best and most desirable pieces, and hopefully we can also get super lucky and find the DeLorean rolling metal treasure hunt. And just like that, boom, jackpot. Oh man, nice. And then what happens now is that I'm only just getting started sorting through everything, and after I'm done filming the treasure hunt, I then grab a pile of loose cars that were floating around on top of the other box. And to better show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, let's rewind, go back to the beginning, because if you look closely right here, it's these 5 or 6 cars that you need to remember, and that's because back on the hunt, and although it appears that a whole lot of nothing is now left behind from this first box, I can't believe that I unknowingly just picked up and moved this purple Solero GT Super Treasure Hunt, and oh man, that's actually so funny and super lucky in equal amounts. No way, this super was just chilling on top of everything and was hiding in plain sight, waiting for me to show up at exactly the right time to find it. I didn't even have to sort through 95% of the other cars that were floating around on top of the other box, and to better show you guys exactly what I mean, here are all of the other awesome Hot Wheels that I had lined up waiting to show you guys in bulk at the end. And because I already have all of the best cars shown here in my collection already, I'm more than happy to leave everything else behind here today and just take home my second purple Super Treasure Hunt Solero GT, the regular basic non-super version as well, and the epic rolling metal DeLorean treasure hunt. I also wanted to share with you guys that amazing feeling you get walking a super treasure hunt up to the self-checkout and then only being required to pay the standard retail price of just £1.49 to become the proud owner of a Hot Wheels super treasure hunt that will 100% belong as a prized trophy in my collection forever. The penultimate store visit for today's video goes out to all of the best and most legendary people watching right now. And well, oh look, the regular version of the Solero GT is hung up inside of a toy shop. It's such a great feeling to know that I was just holding the super for this one in my hand less than 5 minutes ago. But also, can you guys imagine how I must be feeling right now as I'm still running on the adrenaline rush from Aldi, and then I walk up to an absolutely huge fresh restock for some of the most difficult Hot Wheels to find out in the wild, and oh man, looks like I also just found a fresh restock for the Golf Livery Toon series. You guys need to let me know in the comments if you have found it easy or difficult to complete a full set of all 5 of the cars from this God Tier Silver Series set, and I'm definitely going to grab 2 full sets for my collection from everything here today. The Toon Supra is the casting which has a metal base, and I'd have to say that the Toon Golf is the second best looking car from this set. only a handful of Silver Series Fast and Furious Brian O'Connor cars in stock here today, but this is actually a huge win for me, as the cars that were left behind are all of the ones missing to complete my full set, so I'm going to pick up the majority of these Hot Wheels for sure. There was also another Boulevard Spoon Civic hiding here at the back, which I will be leaving behind for another collector, and surprisingly there were actually both of the Hammer Drop Bugattis hanging up amongst all of the premium cars, so it looks like Smith's Toys will once again be taking all of my money, as this is actually the first time that I found both of these cars out in the wild. Nothing of importance to report from all of the mainline basic cars, so here's another version for the tuned Toyota Supra for your viewing pleasure.
1 week later.
I also wanted to include a part 2 for this particular Smith's Toys Superstore, as it's worth taking note that if you find something that you 100% want for your collection, then it's better to buy it when you find it, and realise now that any Hot Wheels you put back and walk away from are 100% going to be bought by the next person that finds them, as it's all change here, and no way, I can't believe that on top of finding a few more of the awesome silhouette premium cars, for real, I'm definitely going to grab 2 of these cyberpunk pop culture Porsches, as these Hot Wheels are on sale for only $5.99 each right now, which is a much more acceptable price tag for premium Hot Wheels sold here in the UK. Nice to see that there are a few more tuned VW Golfs left in stock, as well as hidden right at the back. It's always a win to find another tuned Supra with its super cool orange painted metal base. And lastly, before we hit the final store for today's video, and then I'll show you exactly which Hot Wheels I purchased for my personal collection, I can't believe that this much harder to find Hasbro Mattel collaboration Transformers Optimus Prime Track Fleet product is hiding here and in stock today. As for sure, this one was extremely hard to find out in the wild. I'm very keen to include and showcase this store visit into my Hot Wheels hunting full guide, as it's important for you guys to understand that this situation right here is also one I walk up to countless times and choose not to include in my hunting highlight videos. Because it really doesn't matter if you find a super treasure hunt or find one single Hot Wheels hanging up all by itself just like this. It's all part of the fun that's included with being a Hot Wheels fanatic, and I'm here for it. Okay, so in full transparency as always, it gives me great pleasure to report that the total cost for these 72 Hot Wheels products, including 18 premiums, 18 Silver Series cars, 35 mainline basic cars, and 1 Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunt, wrecked my bank balance this time by £273.52, which then averages out to £3.79 per vehicle. I hope that you guys enjoyed the ride and are leaving here today with a wealth of Hot Wheels knowledge under your belt after completing the Custom Collect Masterclass here at the YouTube University. I highly recommend opening your Hot Wheels and displaying them in pride of place, which is why I've left a very interesting link as a pinned comment and within this video's description as well, for some very good looking diorama displays that you should 100% check out for yourself. Take it easy everyone, appreciate each and every one of you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and stay lucky fellow diecast collector.